Hey everyone, happy weekend. I wanted to check in with you to see how you're doing and talk a little bit more about the fundamentals of health and wellness. If you've been following along with us so far, you're writing a list in your notebook or journal every day. This list contains 3 things: movement, food, and a healthy habit. For most of us, the movement is a walk. I would encourage you to always incorporate walks. There are so many benefits. If you have the walk on autopilot and you're looking for more, you may consider incorporating a weight-bearing activity 2 to 3 times per week. This can really fuel your progress. Food. I would encourage you to keep focusing on protein and logging your food. This is always a good idea. If you want to step up your game, then the next thing you can tackle is reducing your sugar intake, especially refined and processed sugar. And finally, a healthy habit. Please continue with your chosen habit. Perhaps this is visualization, journaling, getting more sleep, or even reading 10 to 20 minutes or 10 pages per day. It's really important to have these fundamental activities as a foundation, whether it seems minor or trivial, or perhaps difficult and challenging. Hopefully this will become clear as we work through this challenge. A note on progress. If you haven't started, that's okay. I encourage you to start now and begin with the 3 tasks we just discussed. Even just one of these things can be a really important first step. If you're with us but feel like you haven't been as consistent as you hoped, that's okay too. We're just trying to kickstart this process. Or if you've been following along and are keeping up with your efforts, way to go. So our topic today is fundamentals. Wellness can be complex, and I think for some of us, it feels a little overwhelming. There are so many pieces to the puzzle and ways that you can approach improvements in your health. Your wellness journey should be unique to you and may look very different from person to person. I like to think of wellness as a pie. We split this pie into slices. There are infinite ways you can slice and dice it, but here's how I generally think of it. My pie has 6 slices. The first is movement, a daily walk, lifting weights, yoga, swimming, cycling, anything where you're using your body. Food. These are the things you eat and drink and behaviors around food. For us, in our list, we initially are choosing between writing down the foods we're eating, bringing awareness to it, or eating protein with each meal. And we just introduced limiting sugar intake. Healthy habits. This is a broad topic, but can include things like daily reading, getting morning or afternoon sun in our eyes, activities like gardening, or getting plenty of sleep. Stress management. Breathing techniques, meditation, being selective about things that increase our stress, and employing techniques to better manage stress, such as deliberate cold exposure. Community. This includes any activities where we're interacting with friends, family members, coworkers, and other community members, and habits such as routine phone calls, meals, coffee dates, and other social activities. Finally, mental and emotional health. Also, this is a broad topic, and it can include things such as mindfulness practices, journaling, visualization, practicing gratitude, and managing digital media content and exposure. There's a ton of crossover in these areas, and much of this can be categorized differently, but it helps us to have a discussion about the diversity of behaviors and practices that can contribute to health and wellness. For our 8-week wellness challenge, we've been focusing on just the top half of this pie. I wanted to simplify the process and help jumpstart your journey toward health. A note about customization. When we talk about wellness, there are pieces of the puzzle or pie that you might be very interested in, and others that you are more resistant to. I encourage you to start by leaning into the things that seem doable. As you progress, you may feel comfortable branching out or adding intensity. The journal or notebook is really important and useful to maintain continuity for these tasks, to help build momentum and really orient you to doing these habits every day. So if you choose to have a little slice of several of these categories or pieces of pie, then you're going to begin to build your foundation for wellness. Being healthy doesn't mean you have to go in all of these sections, but choosing 3 or 4 things that you want to do will help you build momentum and have some success. It will also help to have a foundation to lean on when life inevitably throws you curveballs. I started you out by selecting 3 things for you. Now that you've had a little experience, perhaps you want to tweak those things. For some people, certain things are not realistic. For example, someone who has recently had surgery might not be able to be very active. This doesn't mean that you can't still improve your health. It just means you would focus more on the other areas of wellness. Or another example, perhaps changing your food behaviors doesn't seem realistic, but you're interested in movement, healthy habits, and stress management. Focus on those areas first, and then take a fresh look at the pie and see where you want to add on later. I chose movement, food, and a healthy habit to kick things off because these are typically areas where we can see success more quickly, but it's not the only approach. I strongly encourage you to personalize this experience. You have my permission to customize your task list to meet your needs. Okay, wrapping it up. Over the next couple of weeks, we will be discussing ways to dive more deeply into the categories we've selected and perhaps adjust your choices. I'm so glad you're here. I believe in you, and I'm excited to be on this wellness journey with you.